Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
What do you get when you mix two white boys, both named Mike? A thing for Justin Timberlake and a piercing above your eye. Was he high? Their stories alone could make you cry. That's when you want
Maybe now? I don't know. We'll find out together. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Irish Goodbye Podcast, a storytelling podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined with me, as always,
by Mike Cannon, and we're sitting in the same frame, so you know what that means.
That's right. We got a special guest joining us all the way from Canada. I was just going to say Ontario because it sounded right, but I
was
going to
say Greenland.
Oh, yeah. Graham K, everybody.
Yeah.
Graham K.
Canada.
What's up, buddy? Where in Canada are you from again?
Excuse me. You caught me off guard.
Yeah. I get really choked up when I talk about Canada.
Thinking about how exciting Ottawa is.
Yeah.
I just love my country so much.
Damn it. Clean streets, no crime, very little fun. It's a lot of...
Yeah.
That's what Ottawa's like. Ottawa's like...
Is that where you're from?
It's the capital. It is a 7.5-hour drive north of here.
But that is where... So I guessed it right.
What?
I said
Canada?
Ottawa.
Yes.
No, but then I said I was going to say Ottawa.
You
but
said
you're
Ontario.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I said Ottawa.
A lot of people think it's the same.
Is Oswego Ottawa?
No, that's upstate
That's
New York.
upstate New York.
Oswego is where nobody should go.
It's very different. Oswego. It's a lot sadder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot less
Oneonta.
prime ministers.
Yeah.
A lot less Canadian prime ministers.
100% less.
Yes.
It's more gray than green.
It's more gray than green.
Is Canada green? I'm just like really picturing the woods from Twilight.
Well, it's just an imaginary border, right? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of Canada looks a lot like pretty much exactly the same geographically as America, because it's an imaginary line.
Dare you?
Yeah. Now
these colors don't run. So we certainly don't cross borders.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah, the colors of the ocean and the land don't
take
run
it back.
over to there.
It's all pink up there.
Yeah,
because we're pussies.
Yeah. All right, now we're cooking. I just I've been to Nova Scotia and I think one other place just like on the tip of Canada, but I've never been.
That's a
deep
province.
Canada.
That's one of the names of our provinces. The 13th province is the tip.
Yeah, the tip of. Well, that's the thing too. You're like, what city is this? And they're like, well, it's more of a municipality. If you think, and they start talking in geographical hearsay and nonsense.
No, we don't.
Something we frankly don't put up with in this country.
Prime
State,
Minister
city,
Malarkey
town.
or whoever.
I even hate when people say
he's
village.
Irish. You guys should like him.
Love him. Get him on the show.
Oh, I want him now.
But yeah, Graham, you got a podcast as well. You just started with Robbie Slowick, right? Edgelords.
Yeah. We're two nice guy comedians, and we're trying to learn how to be edgy.
You came to the right place.
It's not working out for us.
Yeah,
and we want to get those edgy bucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that so? There's more money in the edge.
I believe so.
Okay.
From what I can tell from the Gas Digital Network.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're thriving.
Yep.
We both got packages today.
We did.
Wow,
Yeah.
you get them sent here?
Yeah. Somebody told me they sent me a small thing. I picked that up. It's no less than 48 pounds. And I was gonna open it on the podcast.
Wow.
I forgot we had a guest. There's no reason to waste our time. We'll do a little filming of it later.
You could. I mean, I don't mind. I'm
open up a present in front of somebody I didn't get a present
interesting
for.
as you getting sarin gassed.
That is true. It could be some sort of container of COVID.
Sure.
I have a fun little thing that happened to me. I'd like to share with you guys. That is,
I'm open to hearing about it.
if that's open with the court. I guess it appeases the court.
Only because it's not my podcast. If it was my podcast, I'd be fucking livid.
So I had to go get blood drawn or whatever. And when I walk into this NYU place to get a blood drawn, usually, there's the receptionist and then there's the office that you go into to get the blood drawn. And this woman, the second I walk in, she's like the receptionist, and she immediately just goes, Do you have COVID? Have you had a fever or chills in the last 48? Like, she goes through this checklist that you can tell she said to every single person walking in before they enter. And just like, it's got to be killing her, right?
Yeah.
So she goes, you can sit down right here, which is at the corner of her desk. And then this is in the doorway of the opening of the place. And I go, okay. And she goes, you can fill out this paperwork. I fill it out, and she goes, all right, like roll up your sleeves. So she is now the receptionist and the phlebotomist in the archway of the doorway of the. I don't even know what's back there in the office.
I didn't know phlebotomist was a thing until this moment.
I just learned that, and I just assumed that I was dumb, so I muscled through it.
Thank God I spoke up for us.
Thank God.
I mean, we don't even know if that's real.
I would have walked away from this just being, what a fucking idiot.
I think you both still should.
What's a phlebotomy?
The people who take blood.
Yeah.
Phlebotomist?
Yes.
A Draculis.
Look, boom.
sorry.
Phlebotomy.
Oh, and I definitely didn't think it was pH.
Well, that part took us all by surprise, but
Yeah.
now I will say, so the woman is, I'm thrown because I'm sitting here, in the waiting room, and the woman, and there's like other people sitting all around me, and she's the receptionist, and she's going to take my blood, so she like ties me off while someone else walks in, and she goes, have you done that? Do you have COVID? Have you had a fever in the last 2 days?
While
have you
she's
traveled out to the...
administering?
Yeah, while she's starting to pull the blood. So I'm starting to get a little worried here, and I'm just trying to make conversation again, just like I talked about in the vaccine story, about just to try to get my mind off the fact that you're about to rip blood out of my body via a steel needle. So
what a hilarious way to put it, as if they're just forcefully ripping it from your body, and your blood is clinging to the vein.
She was holding my wrist while stabbing downward. No! Just the nails of my blood are ripping off. So she starts putting in there or whatever and the fuck like that, and she starts, and we're just trying to talk, and I'm just trying to make conversation. I go, how many times have you had to say that whole spiel today? And she's like, you have no idea. It's absolutely. I was like, can't you just put up a sign?
She's like, almost as many as I've had to have this follow up.
yeah. I go, why don't you put up a sign? She goes, I've talked about them. I've talked about a sign to them. Don't bring up the sign. Like, she's like getting upset now. And I'm like, again, you don't want someone with a sharp stabbing object to be like not in a good mood. So I'm trying to like brighten her day up. And it's early in the morning. I haven't eaten. I haven't even had coffee yet because whatever the blood. And so she starts taking out the blood and she goes, she goes, how's it going? Just checking in on me, which was nice of her. And I go, yeah, it's good. I'm like, it's not my favorite process to happen. And then she goes, yeah, she goes, I guess it would be, some people really must enjoy it or whatever. And I go, yeah, I mean, if they do, that's a weird, if they're just into the blood.
Kink shaming.
Yeah, here I am. Come get me. And I go, I just was like, she was like, yeah, if you want to take out the blood. She goes, I guess that would be a weird thing. And I go, yeah, that's also a very expensive fetish. And the way I said expensive fetish just tickled this woman to a level that I was not prepared for. Just crushed in the room with this phlebotomist. She is cackling up a storm.
How's the room? How's the rest of the room?
The rest of the room is now curious as to what I said that crushed so hard with this woman. And she was like, it would be an expensive fetish. She goes, all right, honey, you're done. She takes my arm thing off. I go in there. I start getting my coat on. She calls the next person over. The next guy comes down, and you can see immediately he's like trying to ride the wave, or he's like, oh, okay.
He's a one-liner, but he's trying to be high energy.
Yeah. He like sits down and he's like crazy. I think as I was walking out, I definitely heard him say like, how many times have you had to say those things?
No.
And immediately she was just like shut back down.
That's when you shit on the host who crushed, and they're like, we liked him.
Yeah.
We don't like you yet.
But it's so fun when you can make somebody laugh in a non-comedy club. You crush in a real world environment. I was like, I felt good for the rest of the day. I was walking around. I was like, this is fun.
I hitched my step.
Yeah.
I'm lightheaded because I have no blood and no food.
Yeah.
I just have low blood sugar, I think. The whole thing was a hallucination. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It sounded like you got your blood let in like Honduras or something. Like there was like no.
Yeah, they were pouring it into like banana leaves for some reason, but
yeah,
it was like that. That's how it hit her.
I got the most disgusting visual of that. I don't know why, but it's gonna haunt me forever, and there's no way I can fully give it to you guys.
It's all we got.
Yeah,
that's
so
all you
fun.
got.
Yeah.
God damn it. I mean, I've never done that in my entire. I always try to brighten people's day, and I always exponentially make it worse.
Yeah.
I mean, right when Me Too was hot, I remember being at CVS and like
groping a bunch of women.
Yeah, I was just trying to tickle their tits, and they got all uppity about it.
So we're not doing this anymore. You believe it?
But I'm doing it ironically.
Yeah.
See. I think I said the joke that probably everybody has at this point, where it was like, I was waiting to pay, and I'm going through the whole thing, and it's the fucking insert your card thing, even though that slows the process down by about 48 minutes.
Sure.
And I was like, can I go? And she was like, oh yeah. And I was like, just wanted to make sure I had consent. And then popped it in, and she just goes, and turned around and did busy work.
The open mouth turnaround. One of the most brutal reactions to. Imagine this is why they don't put swivel chairs in a comedy club, because if people get
That's funny.
Oh my
That's really funny.
God, that would be the worst.
that would be it'd be the reversed voice.
Yeah, I was
for
gonna
X
say
Factor,
this
right?
is. I was. I couldn't
Are they
remember
all
the
that
name.
way?
They're all got spinny
Most of them are
chairs.
spinning chairs at this point.
Yeah.
They have all got comfortable chairs.
yeah.
Are you
I wonder
still-
if someone just has like gotten on and just did it as a prank and then just pulled down their pants.
on The Voice?
Got someone to spin around and been like, "Fuck you, CeeLo."
So they have to be super talented, and then they have
Good
to
enough for one.
Good enough for one to
Yep.
be like, oh, okay, maybe they have a future, but instead they
But not
hard
good enough
penis.
to know for them to know they're gonna make it.
Yes.
Yes.
Might as well
Still
just
the biting insecurity.
yeah.
Yeah, and also not worried about the fact that they're throwing it all away by
And going to jail.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering. That's all.
Right.
Just a little question.
I mean, it's at the first year of American Idol. Remember when they used to legitimately just film mentally ill people,
Yes,
and then
and we would
put
laugh
them
at
in
them.
the commercial.
That was
Yeah.
like the first
Yeah.
45 minutes of the first episode.
They're
The
like,
first
this
episode of
guy's
those
waited
shows are
online
always
for
the best.
3 days. He's pissed in 6 jars. He's like holding them on stage.
Yeah.
They would do like 8 episodes of that
Yes.
before they did the Hollywood episodes. I would honestly stop watching the season when they got to Hollywood. I was
Yes.
only watching for the mentally
The
ill
freak
people.
shows.
Yeah.
It's not as popular now because they stopped doing that.
Right.
Because that's what we want to see.
Yeah, of course.
We want to feel better about ourselves. So we want to watch like morbidly obese, living in a tiny home or whatever. And then they just build a home around them in the woods.
Isn't that weird that so that's kind of the two poles of what you watch reality TV for is one to make you feel better,
Yes.
and then two is almost like an S&M type thing where you watch the Kardashians and they're just like kind of stepping on your nuts with everything that they
Interesting.
have and you don't.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I thought of
Yeah.
it more as a aspire kind of a way, but also
Oh,
like
not at all. I don't aspire to
but
be
also-
them on any level.
Oh, I aspired to be rich like that. Yeah, for sure.
I want to be Scott Disick and be blacked out in a 5-star hotel or restaurant and just shove 100 down a fucking waiter's
He's got
face.
crazy money too.
Yeah.
Who
He
does?
loves 19-year-olds.
Scott Disick.
I've never heard that name.
He's
in my
one of
life.
the Kardashian. He's in the orbit of men who have had their lives destroyed by the Kardashians.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he's
Now
like,
that's a goal.
Nobody out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe community college. That's how high I'm going.
Commuters only.
I think you can do it.
Yeah. Are you still living in Brooklyn?
I'm living in Brooklyn. I just moved.
Oh, okay.
I just moved like 2 days ago, and I got a COVID deal.
Nice.
It's for $50 more than I was paying for my studio. I have a 2-bedroom.
Oh shit.
I'm quite certain a family of essential workers died in there.
Yeah. Moments before you moved.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
They were still getting rid of the chalk outline as you were putting it.
I got a cheap deal because I kept the lease from their family. I just have to keep their urn over the mantle.
Yeah, that's
Because
part of.
they're technically still in there. So
Nice.
What part of Brooklyn are you in? Are you in Crown Heights?
I was in Bed-Stuy, and now I'm in Williamsburg, like Greenpoint, Williamsburg.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
yeah.
great.
It's
Yeah.
great.
We were
I got
living
here
around
in
the
like
corner.
Certain parts of Williamsburg are great. There's
Yes.
the very rich like white person section of Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Then there's the heavy Spanish section of Williamsburg. Then there's the Hasidic Jewish section of
Yes.
Williamsburg.
Yes.
And you can always tell once you start looking at like the little map where it shows the prices and like
Yes.
one's $4,500
Yes.
a month, the other one's $1,900 a month, and then the other one's like $1,100 for a 3-bedroom. You're like, that's gotta be okay. And you click on the pictures and it looks like just like an insane asylum
Yeah.
from the 20s.
Yeah, and then it's and all the shops are. I assume you're talking about like the Hasidic neighborhood. And all the shops are
was.
just windows with shoes, like 20 pairs of shoes that are the same black
Yeah.
shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the summer,
Same
you
black
see,
hat.
You see a 2- and 3-year-old sitting on the fire escape.
Yeah, in that
Like,
little
what?
cage.
Yeah, in
What's
a
happening?
cage meant
Yeah.
in a cage meant for an air conditioner,
Yes.
but there's instead a baby.
Like 2 kids just, shooting the shit, smoking cigarettes on their little Tykes plastic
Yeah.
seats.
I'm not saying this because I hate them. I'm saying this because it's different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing it out.
It's very
right.
jarring. It's
I
jarringly
do wish
different.
they would wear masks.
Well, sometimes they're in freedom and pinches are freedom.
That's yes, but that's our fault.
That's
So that's fine. But anyway, I live in a small sliver of what's left of the Italian part, And my landlord is very Italian. He's like, it's changed a lot. All the old Italians are dying, changing. And I was like, I love this area. I used to live in Greenpoint, which is Polish.
Polish, yeah.
And he goes, it's like literally like 2 blocks away. He goes, this place is better. This neighborhood's better. I'm like, I know what that means.
Yeah.
Italians are very territorial.
Yeah. He's like, those, they're barely human, those
Eastern Europeans.
I like how you're on the fly editing your racial epithets out that he said to you. He's like, those other people there, and then
those bow hunks. He used some racist term from the 30s.
It's not your fault if you're quoting them.
Yeah, no. Well, my mother is from Slovakia, so I can. It's a bit of a Slovakian neighborhood as well in Greenpoint. So I was personally
Family's
insulted,
Czech
but I
Republic.
kept my mouth shut because I wanted that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you said, "Oh yeah," like you're in Slovakia.
Well,
some
my
summers.
family's from Czech Republic, so.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
formerly
that
Czechoslovakia.
sort of look. Yeah.
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 It's me, baby.
You're from the west side. My family's from the east side.
Yeah, and then they split it up, right?
In 1993, yeah.
Crazy world.
We
used to be neighbors.
Yep.
Yep. Now we're enemies.
I'm from a part of Slovakia known as the Tip.
Oh yeah, is it just like in Canada?
Just a bad callback.
yeah.
We'll just ignore that. Keep moving on.
Yeah. Can we edit? All right,
on the
let's-
fly.
You can't. You can only raise the audio of that part.
Can I tell a fun Sagalo moment that happened?
Yeah, you know Brendan, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Do I know Brendan?
I just like insulting Brendan through people.
Yeah. I should have been like
Yeah. No,
tall
that-
guy.
Tall guy, thin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
good shape.
Yeah. Happy.
So
Full
yeah.
head of hair. Full
Always
head of
tweets
hair.
about how he's full of life
Yeah.
and gusto. So both of us were on a show together, and Brendan, is still got the the 2019 mindset of like, this is a few weeks, this is post pre-vaccines and stuff, where he was like, I'm gonna do this show and then maybe I'll bounce around and try and get on this show, and I think they said they'll throw me up, so I'm gonna. Because we were originally going to go back to back, so I go, we'll
He's got that newly sober energy.
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Where's like, gotta fill the void, fill the void,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like sweets now.
Well, that never stopped.
Dude,
but-
that's why it took me 4 months to lose weight, though, because when I stopped drinking,
Yeah.
all I did was just pile dessert in my
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
And I still looked the same 4 months later, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I realized I was eating like a full row of Entenmann's regular-sized donuts. Those are the best.
That'll do it. So I go, hey, why don't we ride in together? I'll give you a ride, and it'll be perfect. And he goes, great. And then probably whatever it is, like, and 2 hours earlier before that, he goes, actually, I'm gonna go on the second show. I'm not around anymore, so I'll just meet you at the show. I go, great. So. It's just a perfect story of like in 2 separate parts. From then on, Brendan has to leave his home right after he gets off the phone with me so that he could take the 2 subways all the way down to the Lower East Side and then walk the half mile in order to make it to the show early. So now he tries to get to the subway. No trains are coming. Cut back to me, like watching TV, sitting on my living room, totally fine, cool as a cucumber. He waits, I think it was like 20 full minutes for the first train to come. He gets it. He gets stuck underground inside the thing. Underground, he gets stuck in between stations. I'm cut back to me drinking a lemonade or a mint julep, And
How
then
many times did he still check his phone for messages even though he had no service?
Well, at one point he texted me in between things being like, should I have just gone with you? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So it became this thing of him being like, watch me get there at the same time as you do, that kind of a thing, right? So I leave 20 minutes before my spot time, essentially. So I drive there, I get there, I park right out front, not a car on the road, do 65 from door to door, park, get out. Brendan, nowhere to be seen. Over an hour later, he's still not there. So he calls me and he goes, I'm in between 2 stops. I had to take 2 trains. Everything's delayed. Everything's so fucked. I should have went with you. He's like, livid mad, red hot mad. And then I call him on the phone, he is walking up, he's probably a block away. I go, and by the way, show's canceled. So don't just go to your next spot, pal. The show ended up getting canceled after all that, but it was so funny because I just went in, was like, oh, all right, see you guys, and drove right back around. Brendan had to like claw his way through hell, the New York, even through COVID, subway system, no change whatsoever.
It's worse.
Still a nightmare.
yeah.
Now there's like stabby homeless people. There's a lot more
Very stabby.
homeless people just being being weird.
Yeah,
you know?
unmedicated.
Unmedicated.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I also there's such a tension around. I came in last night to do Tommy Pope's show, and I was of course, everybody that works in that building, it was at Compound, and everybody that works in that building just, they have no access to their phones. Nobody's paying attention to anything. Tommy shows up the second his show starts because he wants to be in there as little as humanly possible. And I get there early and I have to piss. He's like, I'll text up. They'll be right down. 20 minutes go by. Nobody's coming down. And there's this weird feeling where I'm standing, I have a hood up. It's raining. I'm standing outside of the building and 13 Asian people exited and visibly kind of looked as though I was one of the attackers that's been, moving about Manhattan.
Yeah.
And it was I couldn't blame them because I was standing there like a fucking maniac, half dancing because I have to
Your
piss
eyebrows
so
tell
bad.
a tale.
That's
My
so funny.
eyebrows have,
When you have to piss,
assault.
you look like you're jonesing, like as a person, not you specifically, but that's a. Yeah, but it's funny that they thought that you were going to take on 13 of them.
well,
They're like, I'm going to get so many points.
They didn't come out in a pack. They don't travel that way. But it
murders.
it was individual.
A murder of Asians.
Yeah, I think that's what,
Don't you dare press that drop.
We gotta retire that
This is
drop.
not the week.
Get that out of here.
Yeah, it might be, this political climate might be the time where I stop calling it a murder of Asians. Might be finally time for me to drop it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's tough. I had I know I have no real segue for this, but I'm trying to think of stuff that happened to me this week. I have a girlfriend and a new girlfriend, and I stayed over at her house, and she has let's just say she has a lesbian roommate who's Asian. There, and then
Eats fish all day long.
sure, yeah, there you go. So cool.
Oh yeah.
Man, I get it.
I get it.
Oh, I love sex talk with my boys.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, so I go over there, and she does have a lesbian roommate, and they share a wall. And a
great wall.
Stop putting your hand up. I'm gonna keep pounding it.
That was good. I'll tell you what. That was good. That was good, clean fun.
Yeah,
I don't care who says so. But anyway, so I'm like, it's late at night, and I'm tired, and we're looking for a condom. She doesn't have any. I'm too tired to go to the bodega. Also, her neighborhood's and so I'm like, I just don't want to do that. So we end up just deciding to go to sleep.
Oh, I thought you were going to say dry hump. I got so excited.
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I
don't think anyone
Why would
else
you?
does.
I have a friend who
that's why I
that's
got
his
pumped.
thing.
No shit.
He loves it.
And he's in his 30s.
He just turned 40, but he's like,
Wow.
he loves it.
Sweatpants?
Whatever he can do, but he loves dry humping.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, I
you gotta
don't
hold
know.
on to the classics as tight as you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just seems like a lot of effort, and then you gotta wake up with cummy jeans.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
No.
Anyway, and all the neighborhood stray dogs follow you home. Huh?
Yeah.
Chomping at your nuts.
Just sniffing relentlessly.
But anyway, so my girlfriend falls asleep right away. She's like one of those people that can fall asleep right away. On the other side of the wall, her lesbian roommate, we met when I came over. Her girlfriend was also over. We met in the living room for 30 seconds. Hey. And we kind of I don't know if they sized me up or whatever. Anyway, they had sex for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
They came interchangeably for 3.5 hours straight. They would stop maybe for I'm at the most 5 minutes
Just to call you a loser.
to
through the
gig.
wall.
Yeah. They called me gay, but they were like the 90s kind. Yeah, when it was bad, and that hurt. But anyway, they would stop to giggle and drink fluids, I would assume.
Sure.
But
Replenish.
there was
Why?
But
they
first,
must have been.
but I'm not joking. I'm not saying like.
I don't even know what that was.
Oh, because women can squirt. They can
they're
when they
wet.
when they come, they get wet.
They must have been
You don't
pretty
know about
hydrated.
Yeah.
Get that fist out of there.
I think I meant like why. I thought you did say why.
I'm high, to be honest. I'm saying
You're
wrong
like
words.
dry. My wife is dry, and that's the way I like it.
Yep,
In and out.
that's right.
Like
pumps.
sandpaper.
Painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
Yeah.
I like it to be a struggle.
Tearing off a Band-Aid. Like when you have
both
dry
of us.
eyes and try and open your eyes.
And your girlfriend didn't wake up to hear any of that?
She's just used to them. Like it's like living beside a Subway or something. She's just used to it, and
It's an Asian noise machine.
All right, you're back.
anyway, there was. I've never felt like so useless. Like I woke up and I was like, I didn't know women could do that. I didn't know 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I thought like, okay,
That's like tantric
You can
sex.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's typical.
but it's because one goes and then the other one goes. So it's like half hour, half hour, half hour, half hour. You get like a half-hour break plus a little fluid. And I swear it was 3.5 hours. And she woke up and I was like, I rolled over, I looked at her, I was like, I have been doing you a huge disservice. Whatever I was doing is nothing. Like I can't. Anyway, I'm
Would
not
you
a
rent
man.
her out to them? Like, just be like, hey, can you show her a good time and then come back and then you'll give her 4.5 of your minutes?
Alex is shaking her head feverishly no, as if he risks
Alex is-
losing her forever.
No, I was shaking my head no for the opposite reason because I feel like men tell themselves that women want to fuck for long periods of time when it's like we're usually over it, like
That's what I thought.
not in too long.
30
yeah.
That's
minutes.
what I
Yeah.
thought.
But
30
maybe
minutes
why?
tops,
Why are
man.
they fucking for 3.5 hours?
I mean, they have calloused labias if
Yeah.
they can
Yeah, I don't
smash
know.
clam for
what the hell is going on?
It's like the leather the barber sharpens his razor
Yeah.
on. That's tough. Tough lips.
It would be a brutal. It's just for 3.5, especially to go back and be like round 2, round 3. It's like a heavyweight fight.
Every time
yeah.
it's a street fighter, round 3, fight.
Round 46. Yeah, it's like a turn of the century boxing match. It's like 18 rounds.
Yeah.
Thin little gloves. It's just a corner man just lifting up the. Get back out there. But I think it's also because they're both in their early 20s.
Yes.
So they both probably don't like it, but they're trying to prove to each other that they're cool.
Oh.
They could outperform the other probably.
Maybe it's
It's probably some sort of a competition.
You think that could happen?
It's like
with-
us.
I think women get competitive.
Yeah, with
Alex,
We definitely get competitive. I don't know.
But if it's your partner,
I don't know about like a sex off.
Well, that's the thing. But if I was a gay guy, I'm not necessarily the most alpha, but I definitely have some fucking alpha in me. And if my guy just fucking buried my head in a pillow and plundered my ass until he was satisfied, I'd feel obligated to try to outmaneuver him next time. Maybe like fucking armbar or throw a elbow into his temple.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain that you wouldn't want to date that guy.
But if I had
yeah. I think they kind of find the opposite.
right. But two alphas have to date at some point, right?
only that those are the same people that are in the relationships where the couples that explosively fight all the time, but convince
Yeah.
everybody that's like a fun part of their relationship.
Yeah,
and it's just like, no, you're just two unhappy people.
Yes.
That's what it is.
I was
those are
that
neighbors.
person.
Oh, you were that person?
I was your neighbor.
Will you be my neighbor?
Growing up, though, actually, it was hilarious. Right next to Nicole's house and my house growing up, there was a 70-year-old couple that you could hear it down the street of them being like, what the fuck are you doing? Every single day. And that was like their love language. That's how they talk to each other. And they told neighbors, like, oh, sorry, that's just kind of how we do things for the last 40 years or whatever. And then he died. And she was like whistling through the yard with a lifeguard whistle, like just fucking whirling it around her finger. The happiest human you've ever seen. You're like, oh, you hated each other's guts.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like how, like, when you move, I don't know if you've ever lived in a rough neighborhood, and then you leave.
Yes.
And then you're like, the whole time you're there, like, this is great. there's culture here or whatever, and then you leave and you have this like you're relaxed. You realize you were living with this little weight on your back.
The culture was just a culture sample of blood on the ground, right?
Yeah, because there is like it's like all that other stuff is really good, but their shootings
Yeah.
add stress.
Are you talking specifically about Nostranav? Where both of us live?
I did live there for 3.5 months, but
Yeah,
I didn't
and
leave.
There was a sweet execution right on your corner.
Yeah.
There was a no nonsense,
Yeah.
just a cat
Yep.
right in the head.
Well,
That was
it's the best.
excellent, what we just did.
That was great teamwork.
That's why you sign up using the code IGP, baby.
It kind of disturbed me. One of the interns is like miming blood on the other side of the window.
They just throw their Kool-Aid at the glass.
I gotta
'Cause
tell you,
that's
it's
all
a
they get to
well-oiled
drink.
machine over here at Gas Digital.
Yeah. That's why everybody should leave us a 5-star review if you haven't. Everybody that does, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It helps. You guys can support the shows in other ways. You can follow us on social media at Irish Goodbye Podcast. You can send us an email at irishgoodbyepodcast@gmail.com. If you got a crazy story, maybe we'll read it on air sometime. We usually like to do that. And if you really want to support the show, again, use that code IGP. Get you a free, I think the 2-week trial thing is done, right? So, but you can get still a free week trial.
Oh,
Get a
yeah.
7-day free trial now. Yeah.
Wait. Let's. So tell Feeney, because they just told me right before the show
Right.
Okay.
what we
So-
got going on.
Also, any current subscriber, as well as anybody who subscribes by the end of August, will be in a pool to win a brand new PlayStation 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. So you
Yeah.
guys can do that. I saw Lewis post that, but I assumed it was a April Fool's thing.
No.
Nope, it's real.
But even better,
Yeah.
We get PlayStation 5s.
Well, the show whose code entered will get.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
One.
will bet 1 million.
one PlayStation 5
Okay.
that you and I have to share
Co-parent?
or compete over.
2 controllers, though.
Yeah.
We could just
pretty
play
sweet.
sit Indian
Yeah.
style
Yeah.
next to each other
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
on the Cogburn.
So we have to get an apartment together.
Yeah.
Or an office or something.
Yeah, I'll take Tuesdays through Thursdays. You can get Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You have to get like a
We'll
Mad Men
alternate
style
Mondays.
fuck pad in the city,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just to play video games.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Why don't we have that?
We were fucking up. But so, guys, you hear that now? So you can win a free PlayStation 5. Sign up using that code IGP. Help support the show and win yourself a PlayStation 5 and watch what will certainly be the downfall of our relationship, fighting over who gets the PlayStation 5 if this show is picked. But I
It's
can
going to really
if-
degenerate over the next month or
If
so.
I had to guess, I would assume. If I had to guess what show is going to at randomly get picked to win, I would assume it's going to be one of the ones Lewis hosts. And if it isn't, then I'll buy a PlayStation 5
Yeah.
for both of us, I guess.
All right. I'll take
No
that
deal. But you guys can also support the show in other ways by buying some merch at podcastmerch.com. Look at all that. That's just an
That
analytics
was
number,
just
but I like that
showing
it was
our
going up. It's still
drop-off
there.
over time.
I think it was showing no one starts in the beginning and kind of watches. But we got t-shirts, we got hoodies. They're all super soft, super comfortable. Order one now. We've been getting tagged in a few of these recently, which feels great. And do that when you buy it. Send us a pic.
We
I
should
like-
do panties now that say 3.5 hours.
For what?
You know,
Oh,
lesbians.
for this? That's just specific. If they watch the Graham K episode, even
Yeah.
Graham was like, "What?"
It's a specialized Graham K edition that he
Yeah.
gets no money for.
It's just me on the butt, just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we've also decided this is great. You'll love it.
Okay.
We're doing a Sagalo shirt, and he receives 0.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
I'm on
that's
board
really
for it.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. Can't wait.
And and besides that, thank you guys for listening. You can also check out Here's the Scenario, another podcast Mike and I do with Brendan Sagalo. Who, again, we will make shirts and he will not profit off of.
That's great.
And you can also check out the Patreon, patreon.com/scenariopod. Graham, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at InstagramK.
Perfect name, by the way.
Thank you very much. It's the word Insta, then Graham like the cracker, then K-A-Y, InstagramK. And I also have a new comedy special that's put out by Just for Last Festival, which just got released last week.
Hey, congrats, buddy.
And thanks. It's called Stupid Jokes. So if you search Graham K Stupid Jokes, it'll come up. It's free on YouTube. It was only available in Canada for a year, but now I am free.
Hell yeah.
Now
the
I will-
tyranny is bullshit is over.
Yes.
You could just type in also Graham K Stupid and it should come up.
comes up. a lot of other stuff comes up. Yeah.
You're gonna have to really dig through that. It'll be on page 4 of
Yeah,
Google.
my childhood math teacher just took a bunch of VHS videos of me, and then he digitized them, and then he uploaded those to YouTube, and it's quite humiliating.
He's got a killer SEO, way of ranking these
it's
things.
burying me. Yeah.
That is funny when you type a comic's name and you and they're like their website is the 6th thing down and all the other ones they have.
Well, this is true. And I have done a stand-up joke about it, but I signed up for Google Alerts last year when my special came out because I wanted to keep track of any articles written about my special.
Of course.
And if Google Alerts, they email you anytime your name is mentioned in a news article or a review or whatever. So one day I got a whole bunch of alerts, and I kid you not, this is true. There is a rapist in Australia with my exact name. And he...
What were you doing down under?
Well... Not going down.
Well, without us.
But anyway, he so for a while there, if you Googled my name, he came up first.
Wow.
Which is bad.
Yeah.
It's bad for the biz.
See, I had a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist who died prematurely and was like the first African American to overcome a lot of adversity and was like a really well-respected guy who also had the name Michael Feeney. So I've been trying to climb out of that hole.
You've been trying to bury him.
I have a billionaire motivational speaker that says stuff that is quite frankly the exact opposite of everything I stand for. And every once in a while I get tagged in his stories of people saying how much he means to them and he's the best and you guys got to visit him and it's my name instead.
You should write back. But I don't like you though.
I've tried to steer their people into my stuff, but weirdly enough, it's not much of a Venn diagram. Not much of a shared
not
space.
Much. A little.
Every once in a while.
Someone getting us pulled in opposite directions. Just a few people. Just
I don't know what I like. Let me throw in just some quick. What are you pointing at, Mike? Oh, the package. We're gonna. I think we might. We're gonna do it later. But also, guys, April 23rd. If you are around the Connecticut area, I'm in Norwalk, Connecticut, headlining 2 shows. I think there's only 40 seats at them, so let's sell them both out. You can grab tickets at my website, MikeFeeneyComedy.com. I got other dates up there and more coming in. So keep on the lookout for that. I'll also be in Bloomfield in May and Uncle Vinny's in Point Pleasant. And Mike, where can people find you? And also go watch my special, Rage Against the Routine, on YouTube.
Watch my special, watch my YouTube shit. Just do that. And dates are coming in. I might be in Oklahoma later this month. I don't know. There's stuff that's, it's being ironed out as we speak.
pretty good.
Yeah, Oklahoma's going to be fun, Oklahoma. Is that your favorite musical?
I've never seen it.
I've never even heard that state sung like that before.
Yeah, well,
Really?
that's a song. Yeah, even I know that.
God is dead. That's
you like
another-
musicals?
I do, yeah.
Big fan.
Do you know that, Alex? You're nodding.
I know Oklahoma, yeah.
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 It's a good one. It's pretty violent. There's a lot of sexual assault and murder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alex, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at I am Alex Scar and check out my podcast Broad Topics with Kim Congdon here on gasdigitalnetwork.com/live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. or you could catch it for free on iTunes and YouTube every Monday.
Oh, baby.
Sweet.
And I'm G Mike across all platforms. Follow Irish Goodbye on social media, Irish Goodbye Podcast on Instagram, and Irish Goodbye Pod on Twitter.
Nice.
Am I the only one who thinks every time he sets that up, I always think he's gonna go, I am high, because he always grabs the mic and goes, I am high. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. I
Yeah.
think about it.
I went golfing last week. Have you? Do you golf?
I do. I own a pair of clubs.
No shit.
I'm white.
Oh, yeah.
Me
But
too.
you're long. Did you have to get custom clubs?
Yeah, I went to the place.
Oh, no shit. So you can play.
I bought. No, I can't. Okay. I went through a brief period where I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
And I bought the cheapest ones that fit me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, they fit me.
Yeah, I mean, I went out. So it was technically for my birthday with my buddy Timmy.
Yeah.
We went golfing all this past year, which was kind of the only thing you could do socially because it was outside.
Yeah.
And then I think we golfed once in December when it was 50 or something like
It was
that.
a mild December.
It was crazy. And then we just did it. The course opened for the first week. It was awesome. I can't play with strangers. I have so much
Performance
stage fright.
anxiety?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude. And I mean,
Yes.
I'm also scorching high on an edible because that's how I like to put myself in danger
Interesting.
all the time. I just like to see how uncomfortable I can be in as
The
many
hardest
different
game on earth.
Yeah. And the most mental.
It's just, you have that natural raw talent, so it's only exciting.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
natural raw talent I had when I was a young kid, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, I still can swing and I can play a little bit. The first hole, I was like, this is one of those things where maybe I developed a skill set over this past season, and I'm
Sure.
kind of picking up where I'm letting off.
Yeah.
I parred the first hole. I'm like,
Oh,
who the fuck
man.
am I? This is
Yeah.
the best.
Oh, I love that.
And then from that point on, I think I like killed 6 kids. I mean, every single shot was like promising.
Slice.
You're in 3 fairways over.
Yeah.
There's
baffling.
There's nothing more stressful on earth. And we've all performed in front of large crowds,
Yeah.
thousands of people every now and again, and nothing more stressful than that opening drive where if there is the clubhouse patio overlooking.
yeah.
That page
Fuck
has that
me.
where it's just like it's like an audience section where they
Yeah.
all are just watching you. There's
Oh
11
my
carts
good
waiting to
Christ.
go after you.
I have never not made it past the woman's tee on that.
Yeah,
opening
oh, that's the worst
I
feeling in the
cannot.
world.
I cannot.
The shame of walking and picking up
Yeah.
your ball.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm also playing with my buddies who I guess
Yeah.
fancy themselves to be working towards the senior tour.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're
there's a
all
lot of guys like
playing
that.
from the blues,
Yes.
like the back thing, and
Yeah.
I'm hitting like 700-yard par 5s, and I'm like, guys, I fucking suck.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, go ahead, Nance your way up to the other tee or whatever. We'll pick you up on the way down. And I'm like, no, I guess I have to fail with you guys,
of
and
course.
if we're moving slower, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
But I really hurt my back. I mean, I was like, some high school kid.
great.
He was playing with us, and he was really good, and he had like long hair. His whole look looked like he was like set up for future success
Yeah.
in golf. And then this other guy who looked like he owned a plumbers union, like he like never was out ever in his life.
He had
but
jeans.
like sweatpants, like cargo sweats.
Yeah.
And non-golf, he didn't have golf cleats or anything like that. He had like New Balance shoes, but he had his own clubs, and he was fucking great.
Really?
He had this Charles Barkley looking swing
Oh, God.
where it was almost like he was swinging a back like what was that guy, Ricky Tuttle? When we were younger,
Yeah.
that guy who had he never brought his bat up like this. He always had it loose, loose grip back like this.
Yeah.
He swung his golf club like that, where he brought it back this
Just doing
way.
your chip
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah, but it was fucking, and I guess he couldn't do it the other way because he was wearing a pregnancy, and he was he would have had to like swing over it and around, but he was like crushing 275 plus
Oh my God.
yard drives, and I'm like getting mad but also trying to be fluid. I'm like microdosing and having a good time, and of course every single time my back gets hurt, I'm wrenching upwards and just flopping the top, and I just want to kill myself in front of everybody.
Nothing worse than spending like $100 on a golf game and like hurting your back on
Yeah.
like the third hole.
They're
and being like,
early.
Fuck.
Yeah. It's not a good round if your big brag is I didn't lose a ball. And the whole time.
That actually is a pretty big brag.
But the only
huge brag. Are you
want to know
fucking
why I
kidding me?
didn't lose it? It's because I was basically Happy Gilmore tapping it in down the entire fucking fairway.
One time I was playing big name drop here with Nate Bargatze, and we used to play in LA a lot, and we got paired. He takes golf very seriously. He like put in a chipping green in his backyard, and we got paired with these 2 Vietnam veterans, gold or black dudes, and
Every time you hit the ball, it's so loud they just dive on the ground.
yeah.
I had been up until that point. Charlie. But anyway, up until that point, we played a few games prior to that month, and I had like this like awesome natural draw, which is like what you want in golf. And there was like it's like the third hole, first 2 holes playing pretty good. These older guys who are like pretty good golfers, they think I'm cool. Mm-hmm. They think I'm good. Everyone thinks I'm good. I'm like,
think you're
man,
cool.
This is cool. I want these guys to think I'm cool.
And good.
Nate thinks I'm cool and good. Yeah. And then there's a dog leg left, and he goes, Nate's always trying to like caddy for me. He's like, what you want? Just, lay up and then, do a second shot around. I was like, how about I use my draw?
Easy there, Bagger Vance. Yeah, take control.
I go, I think I'll just draw it. Like, half joking, but like, I'm really going to try it. I think I can do it. And I hit it very hard against a palm tree 20 feet away and almost kill the 2 men who survived Vietnam.
Oh my God.
And then from that point on, I had the yips and I couldn't hit anything.
Yeah.
To the point where they were like taking off their hats and wiping their brow, looking at me. And I would just pick up my ball and I was like, fuck shit. Like just one. And I just heard like Nate, like, I don't know what happened. It usually is not this bad. I'm so sorry.
That's also the worst when you have to show you're frustrated to prove to strangers that you don't normally suck.
Yeah.
Or
That's
that
a
you
big
feel
move
bad.
in my repertoire.
Yeah, you feel
the
bad.
Michael Scott, what's wrong with me today? That's the way
pretty
to do
good.
it. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
Before I forget to, I do want to shout out. We had a listener he's been talking to me on Instagram for a little while. I don't think he wants me to say his name, so I won't say it. But you know who you are. But he sent me a bunch of like hand blown glass bowls.
Wow.
And they are like gorgeous and they're really awesome looking, and some slides. So I do want to shout out their company, which is B Money Glass, and in glass we trust is what they say. There's no handle for it there is. It's at B_money_glass. Damn, sucks they couldn't get the non_ handle. But
That's what
good
you get for not sending me one.
but good for them. Yeah.
You control Instagram.
Well, whatever's
Wow.
in that thing, I'm excited to see.
Yeah. I'm not going to open
It's
it.
going to be a collage of you and I.
With real blood vials in
Yeah.
between each picture.
So thanks for that, man. I'm very excited. You hooked it up, and you guys are heroes. And again, you can send us stuff to Gas Digital. Mike got a package today that he's going to open afterwards. I got a package. Alex, where can people send us gifts and shower us with presents?
You guys could send gifts to 151 First Avenue, number 311, New York, New York, zip code 10003.
Yeah.
That's that.
That is that.
So,
So new girl. How you guys met during this whole thing?
Yep.
How'd that happen?
I met her. It's not. I met her at like a birthday party in the park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I kind of was just talking to her and like
an old school meeting.
waiting for her to take a sip so I could see her mouth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you just take a stab and be like, she couldn't have.
Could be that.
Yeah,
Fucking
she pulls her
bad.
mask down, just a giant blister on her lip. You're like, fuck.
She never got her cleft lip fixed.
Yeah. Boy, are the cleft lip community thriving during this masked.
Like the dead tooth people. The amount of people that like breathe
Bad
hot,
breath
like
people.
yeah, they
Yeah.
breathe hot shit in your face during
Ugh.
every social encounter. Now they just have a net, a social net. Some of those people should never not wear them.
Do you think that they finally realized how gross it smells and they're going to get it fixed? It's good. It's going
There's
to really.
no way, because you have to, I don't know. I'm a person who's like hyper aware of my own. Like if I feel like I'll know that I smell long before anybody else does. You know what I mean? In terms of being like, oh shit, I got to put on deodorant. I got to do like so when people don't have the awareness, or I don't even think it's the awareness. I think it's the who gives a shit. Like we know a few comedians who are just big proponents of not wearing deodorant, and I like times where you've been like, well, then don't be a person that rides a bike in August and then comes into
Ian.
a closed, confined room.
You have to have sex with men. Like
He doesn't wear deodorant?
he should.
Is it because he doesn't want to, like, he's worried about the metal and getting Alzheimer's?
Parabens and all
Parabens?
that.
Yeah, as he's sucking down his 40th cigarette of the day.
Yeah, okay, good point. Yeah. That's hilarious.
But yeah, that's an inexcusable, and that's not just Ian. This is like across the board. That is just an inexcusable social thing that you're doing, especially in this city where
There's some
everything smells like
religious
hot
stuff
piss in
too,
the summer.
right? Where people like it's like against their religion to use deodorant, and you're like, what God would want that?
Yeah.
Where is your God now?
Your God's a dumb bitch.
There are times
Yeah.
where like you ever get, in the summer especially, if you're out for the day and you don't like have a time to go back home and freshen up or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's some times where I've had to like bring changes of clothing to mask what my balls are doing, like the minestrone soup smell coming.
You're
from
like
my chain.
you're like an 18th century person like who they used to carry like onions
Yes.
and like oranges and stuff
Yeah.
because they just thought showering was bad for you?
Well,
I thought you'd
it
get
was
like
also,
consumption
they
from
would also
bathing.
They would also only bathe like once a month, and then
Once
it
a
would be,
year.
like,
Once a year.
and then it was like the whole household would use that same amount of like that same bathtub of water. So if you came in last, you just were. I mean, literally in the juices.
The
of every...
baby was always last, and that's where "don't throw the baby out with the bathtub water" comes from.
Oh, really?
Or is that I said that backwards? I think.
Don't throw out the baby.
Baby.
Yeah, no, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, because the water was so murky you couldn't see the baby when
What?
you were dumping out the water.
So
Yeah,
that
you'd
had
have
to
to
have
pan it
happened.
one by
No,
one.
I now I understand, but that had to have happened enough to establish that being like kind of a cliche thing to say.
It might have been an old timey joke that just doesn't.
I
You
don't
know.
buy it. I think it was
No.
real.
Yeah.
I think along with the trash they tossed onto Astor Place out of buckets, they also may have thrown a baby or two.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. There was just a bunch of dead babies flying out of the window. Yeah.
You know what's fun about you, Graham, is that the times that we've performed together, I think we've drank a few times and stuff like that, and you're very mild mannered and very like polite and calm and stuff. But there is this seething, bubbling anger, like in Ghostbusters 2. It's right below. Every once in a while, it comes through the grate, and you're like, there it is, and then it sucks back down. But there's a simmering rage about you.
Yeah, I got really, really bad temper in my family, and
Care to elaborate in any sort of hilarious anecdote?
Well, I had really bad obsessive compulsive disorder. My parents were that 7-year-old couple. That was my parents.
Nice.
But then add a severely autistic brother, just constantly spinning.
Yeah.
And
Physically
spinning and breaking stuff and needing help. And then I had really bad OCD. And then, my dad didn't know what it was. He thought I was on drugs. I told everyone I was on drugs because when they asked, because I didn't want to tell them that if I touched everything 3 times, and I didn't have a pure thought, if I did on the 3rd time, that first group would be tainted. So I have to do it 9 times because 9 is the perfect 3. And on the 9th time, if I didn't do it, I have to do it 27 times. So I was constantly like this is me in high school, like sitting down in class going like 27 times.
Wow.
No shit.
And then like doing and like not being able to walk over cracks and all that. And then my dad and I got into like a huge fist fight, and I got sent because he thought I was on drugs. And
Fist fight, bros.
That's right.
Dude.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
And
Just fight your dad, bros.
New T-shirt. That's my money.
what? Yeah, no money for me.
Yeah.
God damn it. You know what? It's pretty alpha male. Something my dad would do. No, but anyway, and then I got sent to like boot camp for 2 years.
No
And I didn't
shit.
like lose my virginity till I was like almost 20 because of it. It fucking sucked.
No kidding.
Yeah.
What boot camp?
It was in Saskatchewan, so I'm from like up near upstate New York, and Saskatchewan is like north of North Dakota.
That's the real weird Canadian accent, right?
Like Minnesota
like the
accent.
bee, the bee, the
I thought it was
bee.
like
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Anywhere you kind of like if
Nothing.
drive like an hour outside the city of any city. Every city in Canada pretty much has like the same kind of accent. Like they say tomorrow differently than
Yeah.
here or whatever. But when you go an hour outside, everyone's got very similar. But on the East Coast, the tip, and Newfoundland especially, they have like a very specific like Irish kind of thing going on.
No shit.
Like if you watch a movie made in Newfoundland, you probably need subtitles.
wow.
shit.
Yeah.
Because they're like woods whites, right?
Well, they're all from like Ireland, and they were cut off from Ireland and the rest of the world until mass media, so like the 1940s, 50s, and so they just were the same for 200 years, and they had no one telling them what's going on and how to talk. And so there's
It's the whitest tribe.
they're just hey, I'm going to fishing there, by how you doing by the bay there. That's how they talk, and you're just like, what?
Oh, I want to live.
And you're from where? They go, where are you to? And I go, where am I to? Where are you from there, boy? I'm from Ottawa. Oh, you're from away. You come from away. Yeah.
It's those annoying turn of phrases where you're like,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
What are you,
I'm
fucking
pissed.
drunk pale Yoda?
Yeah,
What the hell is it?
You're gonna rhyme, and I'm supposed to know what the rhymes stand for.
Yeah.
Well, that's a funny thing too, because I just finished watching like Schitt's Creek last month or something like that, and Canadian show, all Canadian people in it and stuff. But it's so funny when they film it. The whole time I was watching the series, I like wasn't placing the fact that it was like shot in Canada, so I kept going like, what state is this? This is such a weird place because it's like, it's not LA, so it's definitely like the East Coast. Maybe it's like a Virginia situation, but it's like they don't really have accents, and I'm so confused. Like, it was such a weird.
What's funny about that show is they made that made it vague on purpose so they could sell it in America.
Genius.
Because if you say like Toronto or
They
whatever,
never say where it is.
Americans will not buy it. You won't make money. So all of the actors try and suppress their Canadian accent or just sort of talk in this sort of like whatever accent.
Yeah.
But all of the bit players that come on for like 2 lines, 3 lines, like they're not. They're just like, hey, how's it going?
And every
that's, like,
time
pretty
it
funny.
sounds weird to me.
Like the mailman. Oh, Jim, hey, buddy, how's it going there,
Yeah.
bud? All good.
So-
all right, fucking right, bud. Let's go hack some darts.
So you go to boot camp.
Yeah.
Is that like gun training, military stuff?
No, I just call it boot camp. It's like
Scariest
demerit
thing.
points. Make your bed, and if you don't do all like the cleaning and make your bed or whatever, then you gotta like wake up early before school and work out with all the other bad kids, and it only ends until someone pukes.
Oh God.
And then I got caught drinking once, and I had to do the garbage. I had to be a garbage man for the small town of 300 in like January in Saskatchewan. And so it's dark until like 9 a.m. and you're up at like 6 a.m. and it's like minus 30 Celsius, minus 35. So that's like fucking minus 20 Fahrenheit or some shit.
I was gonna
25?
say 100.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it becomes
It's
the same.
cold.
It becomes the
Yeah.
same. It might be minus 30 when it becomes the same. Anyway, fucking cold as hell, and it's like you feel like you're on the moon, and like,
But how did you?
you can't leave the town. No one's allowed to have a car, and there's 300 boys and 50 girls, different dorms, obviously, and like some kids tried to escape, and farmers would find them like in ditches.
Oh my
And
God.
like take them in and be like, where
shit.
are you? And and then the kids would be like, I don't know where. I'm just.
That's legit life or death if you're leaving in that weather.
We tried to. There was a train that stopped in the town, like a freight train, and we heard somewhere that every train going west eventually goes through Calgary. And so it would have been like a day train ride, maybe 2 days. I think 2 nights. And one of the guys that we were trying to escape with was from Calgary, and he's like, my buddy can hook us up with blah blah blah.
You hatched an entire escape plan.
Yeah, and there's like alarms and stuff. And
This is your Shawshank.
yeah. But with with somehow more masturbating.
And is the OCD under control at this point, or are you
No,
still,
I'm fighting a lot
Are you
of
getting
people.
on and off the train 3 times?
It's weird, like being because no one gave a shit. It was like so. I was getting in so many fistfights that it was like, it did help me to. I stopped doing it as much because it was like I was just getting tired of like fighting people.
Because people would make fun of you and then you'd fight them?
Yeah, or they'd be like, "You're fucking weird," and like
Right.
push me around, and then
Yeah, that's what
you know.
making fun of is.
Yeah.
So-
And then and I wasn't in like a zillion fights, but it was like I had been in like besides my dad, I had been in like one fight before, and all of a sudden I'm getting like 2 or 3 a semester, which is like crazy.
It's a lot of fights. Yeah.
And so anyway, we go there and we it's like early in the morning, and we have candles and blankets. It's winter, and we have like canned food. It's like the dumbest like 17-year-old plan.
I just picture you
Do you
guys
have a
with
handkerchief on
Yeah.
the stick?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Ebenezer Scrooge candle holder, the little brass one that you're walking through the darkness with.
Yeah. So just the wind keeps blowing. We just light it.
Yeah.
The folded over sleeve.
You're like, on second thought, a flashlight would have been a worthy investment. It's not $36 on this brass candle holder.
No, we had candles for warmth on the train,
Right.
so we wouldn't freeze to death.
Right.
And we chickened out. Like the train stopped, and we were like, "We're not doing this. We'll die."
Wow.
And we
Wow.
went back, and no one found out. But there's definitely like snow tracks.
Yeah.
There used to be I'd never seen this before because it's so flat there. It's all wheat fields, right? It looks like the ocean, right? It's all sky. And then in the winter, it's just white, white, white. As far as like they have like an old stock joke, like a farmer joke is like, my dog ran away and I watched him do it for 4 days. And it's not bad.
Yeah.
Good, yeah. Good old fashioned fun. But anyway, they have snow drifts because even if it doesn't snow, it would just blow a bunch of snow.
Yeah.
So it just, you could always see where people were going.
And you didn't end up going.
No, we chickened out.
And you had to graduate from that place?
Yeah.
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 And then you went straight to college, or you finished high school?
I graduated from there and then went straight to college.
And just fucked and fought everything that moved.
It was weird. I just remember being so happy.
I can't imagine why.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
It's as if I wasn't constantly in corporal punishment.
When I wasn't in the prison tundra, I felt free.
Yeah.
When I didn't have to escape by box train in the middle of the night.
Plus out because we would have turned into fucking Jack Nicholson. The Shining.
Yeah.
That's when you want to make your Irish goodbye.